I cannot believe this is how you're going to open the podcast.
Remember when we first met John McClane? Argyle picked him up from the plane and took him down the Nakatomi Tower at the Christmas party. And the terrorists were overzealous, but it was sweet when they killed Ellis. And with a little help from Alan, John McClane kicked ass. We're gonna die.
Welcome back to Shat the Movies, the podcast where we answer the question, were the movies we loved when we were growing up really that good? Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why don't they make movies like they used to? Can you still remember spending your Friday night searching for the perfect movie rental at Blockbuster Video? Do you know what Blockbuster Video is? If you answered yes, then this is the podcast for you. I am one of your hosts, Gene Lyons, and alongside me is my co-host, Big D, Dick Ebert.
Good evening.
And each week, we take a look back in time, decide if our favorite films still hold up. The movies we cover are chosen by you, the listeners, who generously commission the films you love. If you like to sell the movies we have covered, will cover, want to choose one for yourself, please visit chatpod.com and have a look. At the end of each podcast, we'll provide you, the audience, with the number of wipes each movie takes to get off your respective butts. So thank you so much for listening. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and share with a friend. It's how we help the podcast grow. Additionally, subscribe to our sister podcast, Shat on TV. Review TV series such as Westworld, Taboo, American Gods, Game of Thrones, True Detective, Lovecraft Country, and Watchmen. Find all information and past episodes at shatpod.com/TV. All that being said, Big D, what movie are you reviewing tonight?
Gene, I'm really excited. Tonight, we are turning the corner. You know, in the marathons, they got like the point where you turn and you're coming back. We're on movie 501. We are now in the home stretch going to a movie 1000. I wonder what it's going to be when we get there. But Excited Tonight is the first movie that gets us in that direction.
Yeah, the pressure is off. This is just any old number. It's 501. It's like when I turned 46, you know? 45, big deal. 46, nobody cares. No pressure. We're just going to cruise through this Van Damme classic.
Oh, a little spoiler there. But I assume if people click
on the fucking title,
they know what it is. That's true. I shouldn't try to be mysterious. But yeah, the movie tonight. This was a very 90s thing. They used to crank out a lot of these movies. You'd find an action star that people loved. You'd throw them into some form of tournament situation, send them to a bunch of exotic locations, and hope that he captures some magic. Some movies work, some don't. The question isn't whether it has fighting. We know it has fighting. But whether there's enough around the fighting that's worth embracing. Hopefully this will break the spell of our recent combat films that I don't think have stood up to the test of time. And that's why we're excited tonight to go back for our commissioner, Stephen M., the month of Stephen, and review the 1996 martial arts adventure, The Quest.
And Stephen wrote in and said, "Good morning, Gene and Dick. For my third commission, I've selected what, in my opinion, is one of Jean-Claude Van Damme's best 1990s movies." There's a lot of qualifiers there. Jean-Claude Van Damme, best 1990s movie, closely ranked with Street Fighter, The Quest. The first time I watched this movie, I was a young adult at 18 or 19 and had just discovered one of the gems of the 90s, the Columbia House BMG 512 DVDs or CDs for just $1 racket. During one of the times I initiated this deal, I selected The Quest on DVD. With my initially limited catalog of DVDs, this movie quickly became one of the selections I'd watch over and over. I was a sucker for a good action movie, and up to this point, I'd never seen a movie with tournament-style fighting that featured multiple disciplines of martial arts. From the varied styles of fighting, the locales, the musical score, and the characters, this easily caught my attention as something special. The character development can be a little lacking. Why was Jean-Claude so obsessed with those kids? But in spite of that, I believe it stands up on its own as a classic. Besides, who wouldn't want to watch a movie that combines the muscles from Brussels, poor man's Raiden, and James Bond? Add in that Jean-Claude executes what is easily the best aerial kick in a fight movie, and you have yourself some cinema gold. I look forward to hearing your opinions on The Quest, and as always, thank you again for doing this show. I appreciate your entertaining banter and unique takes on things, and have made listening to the pod a regular part of my morning shower and afternoon runs. All the best, Steve. Steve, I can see that you are a connoisseur of 90s movies and bad deals that you get from Columbia House. I'm going to agree with you that Jean-Claude Van Damme was doing some special stuff in the 90s. And unlike Steven Seagal, who has not aged well, Jean-Claude Van Damme is a guilty 90s pleasure that gets better with age. He has an audaciousness, a warped idea of what's cool. And his action movies are tactically idiotic, but theatrically impressive. So I was really excited about the opportunity to see Van Damme, not just as a star, but as a director of a movie. And I was not disappointed.
He has so much charisma. A lot of the action stars are very wooden. Seagulls or the...
Don't you dare say Brandon Lee. YouTube and TikTok will explode.
Okay. I'll leave him alone. But a lot of them aren't as charismatic as Van Damme. He's great. So I'm hoping. I had no expectations coming in because I knew nothing of this film. Just the poster when we saw it, and it gave me very old man Christopher Lambert vibes. I think we saw him in Highlander 2, where he was an old man makeup. It's an adventure film. It's a genre I love. I was excited and hopeful that this could be something special that I had not seen before.
The Quest is a 1996 martial arts adventure starring Jean-Claude Van Damme in his directorial debut alongside Roger Moore and Janet Gunn. The plot, set in 1925, follows New York thief Chris Dubois, played by Van Damme, who is sold into slavery by Lord Edgar Dobbs, played by Roger Moore, and enters an ancestral martial arts tournament to earn back his freedom. The last of a 5-picture deal between Van Damme and Universal, The Quest was hyped as Van Damme's be-all, end-all martial arts film. Though the film underperformed domestically at the box office, it did better internationally and ended up being a commercial success. Let's hit the trailer.
On the run from the law.
Check the cargo! See it somewhere! Move it!
Captured by gun runners.
Put him in chains.
He wouldn't give up. Until he found a way to win back his honor. Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Quest, rated PG-13. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
In the 1990s, a group of thugs attempts to rob a bar, but is defeated by a mysterious old man. The story flashes back to 1925 when Christopher Dubois was working as a thief in New York City. Orphaned as a child, Dubois looks after many young boys by performing cons. After stealing a fortune from a group of gangsters, Dubois and the children are discovered. Dubois subdues the gangsters, but the struggle draws the attention of police. After promising to return to the children, Dubois escapes the police by stowing away on a boat.
Okay, so Gene, the opening credits, they surprised me. I know Van Damme, the actor, we all do, but when I saw Jean-Claude Van Damme, director, I have to admit, I was not optimistic. My expectations dropped off a bit. But then the movie starts, framing looks good. The camera work actually feels deliberate. The period piece, like all the costumes, the sets, feels pretty good. Everything seems like it's in place. And I'm like, is this really a Van Damme movie? They're bouncing around different parts of the world. It's 1925, and it's actually feeling like an adventure instead of a bunch of cheap sets. We've gotten burned here with like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where it's cheap. It's a video game tournament. Nothing about this opening screams a vanity project by an action star. In fact, I thought, this looks good. I said, maybe it's going to fall apart later, but based on the opening, Van Damme directing, I didn't think this would be what I would get.
I cannot believe this is how you're going to open the podcast. We spoke on the phone before. I thought we were on the same page on this movie. Then you throw this curveball. The movie, you said just right now, does not feel like a vanity project. Opens with Van Damme layered in old man makeup a la Tim Robinson, and he's kicking the asses of what looked like a gang of male models, and you just know Van Damme is thinking, this is gonna look really cool, and probably like a heh after it, like Chris Lambert. And then the bartender's like, whoa, mister, where'd you learn to fight like that? And they flash back to a Tibetan shrine, and there's a gold smelter and dragons. And people, don't get me wrong, I am very entertained by this, but it screams 1000% vanity project.
No, this is Indiana Jones, like with kicks and roundhouses. A vanity project maybe later on when he gets artsy And he adds in a lot of slow motion and his eyes. Here, I don't think he took it serious that he thought this was going to be an award-winning performance. I thought he was just trying to make a good action movie.
He asked costuming to put him in an old man suit and then have him beat the shit out of people with a cane for no reason.
I think the reason we'll get into is he envisioned this as the beginning of a trilogy. You have to show the scope of the adventure. I mean, we get to see old action stars a lot of times. We get to see young Indiana Jones. We got to see old Indiana Jones. I think he envisioned this as it was going to be a long-playing series of films that he was just laying out everything that happened before, that we knew this badass would survive to the 90s. But I will agree with you on maybe the Vanity Project is that he starts taking some options in scenes that he normally wouldn't do. Right. Normally it is he's a time cop who's trying to catch criminals through time and it's action. Here he meets one of the kids, Billy, and Billy gets shot and the kids are devastated. His little gang of thieves. And he's supposed to be carrying all this guilt and emotion. And he's comforting the little boy and he's promising, I will be back, Billy. You tell Red and Billy, I will save you. I will come back. And the music is swelling. And I didn't buy it, but it looked good. And I don't think he cared that we would believe it. He's just trying to deliver some emotion in the scene, and it doesn't work. He had to have realized he should be kicking and not caring and cradling children.
Van Damme, there is an artist deep inside of him, okay? There is an artist in Van Damme just screaming to get out. It's like Hitler doing watercolors, right? He doesn't just decide in this movie, my character is going to be emotionally attached to a barn full of orphans. Okay. No. He has to paint this picture. Okay. He has got to be a clown thief on stilts who is Peter Panning his way through 1920s New York. And I know that there is a poem being written here. I just can't read the poem.
Do you think there's a chance that if you put him into one of our French films that are more strange characters, that he could blend in and fit?
Yeah, you put him in City of Lost Children.
That's
Perfect
exactly
fit.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You could have even put him as like an extra in Betty Blue, as a member, like one of his friends.
Yeah.
His exotic friends. Because his face never quite gets it. His voice never changes. And I'm sitting there being like, oh, Van Damme, come on, man. I'm pulling for him. Because he's trying his damnedest, and I got to give him credit for at least making an effort.
And this is a tournament movie, as Steven said, but Jean-Claude Van Damme is incorporating other kinds of action into the quest. Okay, he's the director; he gets to decide what the stunts are, and he's doing stilts. He also does this crane escape, and I feel like action directors, especially in the 80s and 90s, they could not resist the idea of the star clinging to something up high as they escape from a threat. We see it all the time, whether it's a zip line, a crane, a dirigible. In the quest, we get Van Damme hanging from cargo that is being loaded onto a ship in port in New York. And I'm calling shenanigans here. Okay. If I'm a cop and I'm searching for a guy on the run, if I'm just a dude that is walking around on a dock and there is a crane moving a bundle of stuff across the sky, I'm looking at it. Like, how do you not look at it? You're going to see him immediately.
I'm going to assume 95% of the listeners have not seen it. It's not like the crane is a modern day crane that's 150 feet above the dock.
No.
It is 15, 20 feet above the dock. And he's hanging there. He's grunting. And you can hear the rope straining. You would look just at the sound.
If you put a gun to a person's head and you're like, don't look at the crane, they would still look at the crane. You have to. It's a human impulse.
No, but Gene, what I love is having him as a director, we get a sight into Van Damme's mind. What he is thinking and what he feels goes onto screen. So the one thing that is obvious is that Van Damme, what does he point the camera at? Two things, his eyes and his legs. Van Damme loves to show off his legs. I mean, we get Schwarzenegger, Stallone. They do the arms and the chest. Here, any chance he gets to have his legs dangling and then grab on like a spider and the camera zooms in. And Van Damme's thinking, no, focus on my legs. They are my money maker. And he's hanging. It makes complete sense that you would do this.
I was talking to one of my friends at the gym, Casey. He also pointed out that Van Damme is obsessed with silk underwear, like silk boxers. And so if you watch movies like Time Cop, and I forget the name of the one where he had a twin, but he always references his silk underwear.
Obviously, he's probably packing. He's probably wants to show some movement. It would make sense. His legs, his lower half, get a little mystery going.
I've always been a big fan of silkies. Maybe actual silk is the next step. Aboard the ship, Dubois is imprisoned by gun smugglers and forced into physical labor. Before he can be killed, the pirate ship is attacked and boarded by a mercenary Englishman, Lord Edgar Dobbs. Dobbs agrees to help Dubois return home, but deceives him and sells Dubois into slavery on an island off the coast of Siam, where Dubois is trained in Muay Thai fighting.
Just listen to that description.
Yeah.
This is not a traditional fighting film. This is more like an epic adventure that goes across continents. We should have an old-timey map where we see the plane flying from country to country. And I really see what Van Damme he's trying to do. This wasn't supposed to be another movie where he walks into a warehouse and just kicks like 20 guys, throws out some funny quip or some line, and walks out. He's aiming for something high, and I respect that. He could have gone on the cheap, but he doesn't. He goes to exotic locations, big practical sets, elephants crossing rivers, actual ships, deserts, horseback travel, hundreds of extras. There are scenes that rival the first Raiders of the Lost Ark in that bazaar. Mm-hmm. There's so many locals. It feels like an old-fashioned globe-trotting adventure that just happened to end in a martial arts tournament with Germans and dirigibles. And I admire the ambition. He wanted to do maybe a more action-packed Indiana Jones-style franchise. And for an action star to do that, I give him credit. Does it work? Not always, but to have that vision and to make a movie not just for a paycheck, I respect him.
And yet, at the same time, they keep it familiar. This is very much the formula of Bloodsport. I tell people this is Bloodsport in 1925 plus Indiana Jones, right? But secret tournament, just like Bloodsport, best fighters in the world, bloodthirsty champion that wants to be unnecessarily cruel to people and kill them, a woman journalist. Frank Dukes, the subject of Bloodsport, he even co-wrote The Quest with Van Damme. And I started thinking about how many Van Damme movies involve a tournament of sorts, okay? So obviously there's Bloodsport, there's The Quest, there was No Retreat, No Surrender. It's like one of his very early films. Kickboxer. Mm-hmm. You could argue Lionheart. There's no bracket, but he's still fighting his way up, right? It's a bit of a formula there. Not to nitpick, but why is Dubois in chains? This bothered me to no end. The entire time he was chained up on the ship, I'm like, why? You've got a clown thief on your ship. You're in the middle of the ocean. He wakes up and they're already out there. He doesn't know where he is, okay? No idea where they're sailing. No land in sight, okay? I looked it up, Big D. Fewer than 30% of people could swim in 1925. Right. Mm-hmm. And you're forcing this guy to work with his hands. Why in the world would you shackle those same hands? The only thing I can think of is Van Damme knew that later in the movie he wanted Roger Moore to shoot the chains off of him, so he had to have chains on.
No, you're just showing how dangerous he is. That you couldn't know contain. That. I did after they chained him up and he still kicked people's ass. That was the whole point. He was so dangerous that he would whip all of their asses and you had to chain him up. He was like an animal, Gene. You could not contain him. You had to do it. You had to. So then when he gets to the island, you try to sell him. Hey, that's the dude we had to put in chains. I'm shocked they were going to try to kill him at first. You could have turned him. I thought he was going to become a member of the crew. That's somebody you want to be friends with.
It's like a classic pirate thing. You capture a clown thief, like he's got to become a pirate, right?
Dude, not even a clown thief, a muscular, like monkey man who can climb around the ship. He could probably be like a super pirate.
You've seen him cling to cargo. He's got grips.
He's actually the dream pirate. So maybe
well, that was going to be part 2.
They were trying to chain him up so he couldn't leave. That's what it was. It wasn't the danger. They were worried about like somebody with your expensive, like a Trek, a carbon fiber bike. You didn't want somebody to steal it.
It was a whole misunderstanding. The captain was actually just trying to give him a shave when he pulled out that razor. He overreacted. Roger Moore came in and fucked the whole thing up.
God, but Roger Moore comes in. God, Roger Moore, though. Man, he comes in, and I was not expecting it. It was like in Highlander when we get Sean Connery. I'm half thinking, what is this man doing in this movie? Because I've always viewed him as the weaker of the James Bond. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I feel that way anymore, because everybody respects Connery. And then you have the newer generation. You have Dalton, you have Craig. But as far as the old ones go, you think of Roger Moore as the weaker, but man, he's good. He's charismatic. He's kind of slimy. He's charming. And he is clearly having fun on the set. He's having fun on screen, and he's winking at us. And it made me question, after all these years, maybe he was a better Bond. I think we need to go back and do some of the older Bonds to really get a fresh perspective. But he's not the toughest guy in the room. He's not going to threaten somebody. He's a charming adventurer with his sidekick. His morals are a bit loose. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know who he's going to cheat. And I think he could hold his own against Sean Connery. Roger Moore could have maybe played in The Rock, the ex-M5 thief who comes in. They could have done some interchangeable roles. And I think that Roger Moore may have gotten short shrift on his roles, but he kind of kicked ass in this movie.
This movie hit high gear when he showed up. I was already pretty entertained, and then it just went into another level of entertainment. Roger Moore lit this entire project up. And I was sad because I thought we were just getting a cameo. Like, he was so good and he's so respected as an actor that I thought doing the quest, he's not going to spend more than 5 minutes on screen, right? He frees Dubois, sells him into servitude, and sails away. Okay, well, that was the last we saw Roger Moore. It was really good. I wish we get more. And then they give us more. He becomes a central character in this sprawling tale, and it just explodes the fun factor. And Jean-Claude Van Damme was smart enough to give him maximum screen time.
I think it's much easier to sound sophisticated and nuanced when you're a British actor. It's hard for Americans to sound smart.
You get him in a role like Dobbs here, and he's this older, mysterious, erudite kind of guy who's a little bit of a rascal. And I think it's a perfect fit. And yeah, I do think he was kind of underused in the 90s. Well, 6 months later, Dobbs and his partner, Harry Smith, find Dubois fighting in a Muay Thai match and buy his freedom to fight a kumite-like tournament called the Gang Gang. The tournament winner receives a valuable statue made of solid gold, the Golden Dragon. Along for the journey are American reporter Carrie Newton and heavyweight boxing champion Maxie Devine.
So I famously complained about tournaments. I always want to know the rules. I like to know the setup. I like to know how the process of knockouts and the different rankings and the brackets work. It helps me kind of understand the weight of a situation. Like, are you on the edge of losing? Are you going to get out of the tournament? Could you come back? Is there a loser's bracket? With this, I didn't care. I bought in right away. It's for gold. It's not some mystical power. It's greed. You get out there, you recruit across the world. And what I love is that these are grounded fighters. We've reviewed all of the movies you listed, Bloodsport, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Everybody has a superpower. Everybody has an unhuman, unnatural power or ability. In this movie, they're just regular guys who are skilled fighters, right? There's no gimmick. There's no superpower. There's no, hey, show us you could break the bottom brick. Hey, you can't shoot any kind of energy bolt out of your chest, or you don't have a magical ability. And when they're representing each of the countries, you can buy into the people. You got the Scotsman gene, looking like a giant Highland warrior. He's got like a red head. He's got the kilt. He gets beat pretty easy, but then you see the Brazilians come out doing the capoeira, and they're dancing. They got the drums. They got the roots of the martial arts instead of magic. The Russian is this big, huge dude. He's intimidating. He's a bruiser. Nobody's got glowing eyes. There's no fireballs, no claws. All of the stereotypes led into realistic fighters that you could have seen in the 1920s. And it made the tournament so much more fun, so much more grounded, and less video game. So you didn't need money for CGI special effects. You just got a good old-fashioned 1920s mixed martial arts and style combat tournament.
The tournament did feel a bit nationalistic to me. Like, there's a Tibetan committee putting on the Gang Gang, And they're like, okay, yeah, we got to pick one fighter from each nation. And then we're going to have little flags that we run up every time a nation's fighter takes the stage. But I do want to say kudos to you for recognizing real fighters because, yes, as Steven said, a lot of these guys were doing like made up martial arts styles, which was kind of fun. But the cast is filled with proven fighters from the Muay Thai and boxing and grappling world. So the way they moved and the way they reacted, that all made a ton of sense and they looked legitimate.
They were all fit. And I think it also helps that they weren't known actors. When you have an actor who's bulked up for a role, it's hard to view them as anything but an actor trying to be a fighter. But another thing that I think they do is, besides the fighters being real, simplifying the combat, simplifying the fights, have a restrained fight. Coming off of Bloodsport and Mortal Kombat, there's tons of quick action. There's weapons. It's a big blur. So I'm expecting these big drawn out battles. It's going to be over the top where you think every blow would kill a normal human being. Every punch can't be the ultimate, super where you lift them off the ground or your kicks throw them through a brick wall. Instead, we get a couple of exchanges, a kick here, a throw, done. Almost no blood, no over the top violence. There's no supernatural bullshit. And Van Damme really overused the slow motion. That's my only takeaway from it, that the fights would have been better in real time, but he always at the end would slow it down with this over stylized slow motion final hit. Other than that, I thought it was great. I thought the fighters themselves, it was memorable. Everybody's incredible shape. It was fun.
You're right on all points. I agree totally. But there was one moment actually when they departed from that formula that kind of bugged me. You mentioned fights going on for a long time, really drawn out sequences. The final fight, and I get it's the big fight at the end, right? So it's Dubois and Khan, and they're having their fight. And Dubois, for some reason, I still don't understand. He's like, we got to take this fight outside. He is getting his ass kicked by Khan. Beckons him outside. And why is everyone agreeing to this? You're in a perfectly good arena. There's seating for everyone. You got nice, cozy fires. All the guys are there in their beards. Massive gong that the gang is very proud of. I expect there to be some twist, right? Like he recognized that he had an advantage to going outside, but none that I could discern. It looked like he just wanted to go outside.
I mean, the honest answer, they had a beautiful set. They were going to use it.
Yeah.
But
did you expect him to pocket sand him? That's what I was expecting, was pocket sand.
I expected so many things. First of all, why would Khan agree to that?
Yeah,
the tournament's over. He
Yeah.
beat his ass. He's out of the arena. Get my fucking gold dragon. I'm going home.
For people who haven't seen this movie, he fucking rocks Van Damme so hard that Van Damme flies over a ring of fire. He's on the other side of a ring of fire. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're DQ'd. If this is the Royal Rumble, you're done.
Dude, he's in the stands.
Oh, I guess.
He's in the fucking stands. And you see him for a moment, like having flashbacks and thinking like, hey, should I quit? Right? He's mentally broken. He's physically broken. Tournament's over, but I guess maybe Khan was so confident he wanted to beat his ass in front of the locals. But there was no reason. Take the golden dragon and go home.
Dexter's dad's there. He's like, come on, get up, Chris.
You can do it.
You can do
Get
it.
up, do it for daddy.
Well, Dubois ultimately wins the tournament by defeating Mongolia's Khan, but does not accept the golden dragon. Instead, he trades it for the lives of Dobbs and his comrade Harry, who were sentenced to death for trying to steal the dragon. Flashing forward to present day, Dubois explains he helped the children get off the streets, Divine helped train many great fighters, and Dobbs and Harry opened a trading post deep in the Amazon. In the final scene, a book closes, revealing its title and author, The Quest by Carrie Newton. So Dubois promises when he leaves New York, kids, I'll be back. Billy, Red, I'm coming back for you. Did he just forget about the kids at some point? I assume that the way this all worked out is he starts banging Carrie Newton. Her dad's really rich. She owns the newspaper. Her dad takes care of the orphans. Yes?
Well, I got a question first.
Yeah.
Do we believe he does? I think there's hints that he does not own the paper, that when the editor is talking to her, that she just works at the paper and she's pretending her dad is? Because there's a point where they're in the restaurant and Roger Moore says, oh, her father's the owner of the paper. And the boxer is kind of like, huh? Like a bit dumbfounded. So I felt like she was just faking it to make it, to get into this, to break the big story.
Well, then how do the kids get taken care of?
I got another question for you, Gene.
Okay.
Timeline here, right?
Yeah.
So let's roll it back, right? So he gets caught. He's got the little gang of thieves in their little den. And then we see the boxing champ get his invite, right? In that time frame, Chris is on a ship. He's out to sea. He gets sold into slavery. He has time to kind of make friends, learn to Muay Thai box. Then he meets Sean Connery and his buddy. Then he gets out to the tournament the same time that the boxer gets there.
Yeah.
That's got to be at least 6 months to a year. Now we do the journey to the tournament. It's been 2 years since the kids are gone. The kids have been picked up by Child Protective Services, if there was back in the 20s. Most likely they've been sold into some kind of slavery. They're dead.
And I'm going to give Dubois like a pass on the things that were out of his control, right? So he gets captured by smugglers. Okay, you're in shackles on a ship. Understandable. You can't get back to the kids. Okay. And then you get sold into the fighting pits. Fine. Gotcha. But then when he meets up with Dobbs again, he's not like, hey, Lord Dobbs, buy me and let me fight back in America and I'll pay off my debt. His plan is, I'm going to go to Tibet and I'm going to win a golden dragon statue. And that'll save the children. And then when he does win the statue, he passes that on to save Dobbs and Harry. And I'm like, dude, eyes on the prize. What about the kids, Chris? It's been months or perhaps years. They got to be dead or they're turning tricks on the Lower East Side.
No, I think he could have easily said, I want half the dragon. Half the dragon gets sent back on a ship to the kids. And then we save my two new friends, but it makes no sense. Chris could have actually won the finals. You didn't need to take out your tiny German blimp and act like Lex Luthor and them are breaking out of prison. And the poor fat guy's got to get off that little balloon because it keeps sinking. He has a legitimate shot to legally win the tournament and take home the dragon right away. Why would you risk that? Why suddenly take the chance and steal it? You've already did the hard part. You survived the journey. You beat everybody except for Khan. You're one fight away. Nobody knows that you're this international trickster. You said he's a little scamp or he's a rascal. Is that what you said?
Yeah, rascal. Yeah.
It's so dumb. They should have just waited and then maybe they could have talked dumbass Chris out of the dragon.
But in addition to that, Big D, the quest left me with many more unanswered questions. So we get this dramatic flashback from the flashback. It's an older woman. She's dressed in all black. She abandons young Chris in the park and she crumples up this note. And she's like, your mom and your money are gone. And I'm like, well, what did the note say? Like, why didn't Chris pick it up and look at it? Beyond that, how did he learn acrobatics? The fighting skills he knew before Muay Thai Island. So in New York in 1925, before he goes to Muay Thai Island, before he goes to Siam, he's like elbowing cops in the face. He's kicking people's asses. He beats all these gangsters up who are armed. Then he goes and he learns Muay Thai. He's fighting the German. Dubois hits, I shit you not, people, an armbar and a dummy sweep. So now he knows either jujitsu or medieval joint locks. Crossbow bolts are piercing a dirigible. Why is the German airship so small? I mean, you called it a blimp. I mean, it's the size of like a Winnebago. I'm appreciative. Do not get me wrong. I am fascinated by the fact that they filled all this story. Check this out. All this epic in 95 minutes. I had to go back and check. They fit all that in 95 minutes. Super appreciative. Thank you so much, Jean-Claude Van Damme. But stop teasing me. Give me the answers.
Dude, Gene, you're underselling it. You make it sound like, because people haven't watched this, that there's one flashback to where little Chris finds the note in his pocket. It is multiple times. Anytime he's knocked out, we get a little more of the picture, right? And imagine if Batman, that's another story about a vigilante or a hero for Gotham and the children. He goes to learn to fight in Tibet. He comes back, right? Imagine if we just saw a flashback to Batman in the alleyway after the play.
Every time.
And we just hear a gunshot. And we never see that his parents got killed. That's what started him on the road to becoming a vigilante. We don't get any of that.
It's a perfect analogy because you're like, where is mom? Was there money? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then I'm assuming she left him in the park. She's like, be a good boy, stay here, I'll come back. Then what? Then what the fuck happened?
It all has to go back to that. The ending, Van Damme saw that this was going to be the beginning to a bigger adventure, right? Because we get the book closed. He pictured probably in part 2, we're going to open the book and it's going to be the new adventure, right? It's like, we'll see you next time. You know that in part 2, we would have found out that he came from a very affluent family. He had lots of money. That's why he loved the circus as a kid when his parents took him. And he learned to become an acrobat. He probably speaks multiple languages. He's probably has this unlocked talent that we would have found in movie 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And that's partially probably why they had so much stuff left over that you said it was 90 minutes. You know there's at least another movie on the floor somewhere in the editing room. It was ambitious. There was more to it. This wasn't just him getting abducted, him caring for children. He gives up wealth to save his friends from being put to death. There are so many plot lines in this film that Van Damme just couldn't pare it down. So he had to be thinking, this is going to be my masterpiece, my trilogy. This will put me over the top.
The Quest is available on Blu-ray for $22 on Amazon. I'm going to see if it's cheaper on eBay. Because if there are outtakes or director's commentary, that might be worth its weight in gold.
100%. We might come back and realize, how close was Apocalypse Now to being a disaster? Very close. Maybe there is a legendary epic in this film.
We might have a Westworld situation on our hands where all the clues were actually in those flashbacks. We just didn't get them. Like if you looked at what he was wearing in the park and like what exactly she said.
We got to find him if he's at some con. That's the question I would ask. Or if he does cameos, I would send a cameo where he would just tell us what the note said or what was the backstory with the woman in the park. I need to know.
What did the note say? That's the question. What did the note say?
Oh, and Van Damme didn't let it be a blank piece of paper.
No.
That was a full note written in like calligraphy on old-timey paper. That's out there, people. Forget about young bottoms. I don't care about that anymore. I need to know what was in the note.
Well, now's the time in the podcast where we give our Shat score for The Quest. The Shat score is our way of telling you how many wipes this movie takes to get off your respective butts. 0 wipes is a perfect movie. It's doing it for the glory of God, for the British Empire, and for His Majesty King. And 5 wipes is an absolute disaster of a film. It's vacationing on Muay Thai Island. I'll go first, Big D. I, frankly, Steve, have not been this excited to tell people about a movie in a long, long time. I had the irrational urge as soon as I watched The Quest to buy it on DVD just to loan it to my friends before I remembered that most of my friends don't have DVD players. But personally, I'm adding this one to the library. I'm taking money out of my own pocket and will be purchasing this on Blu-ray. And I am screaming from the rooftops about how kick-ass it is. I already checked in at my gym and we're planning to do a watch party, like a movie night, where we're going to put it up on the big screen. I gave Bloodsport 1.5 wipes. And I think Bloodsport is a legendary film. Giving The Quest 2 wipes would be a crime, but it's not Bloodsport, so I'm coming in at 1 3/4 wipes.
So I need to ask, because for me, the biggest surprise in the 501 movies we've done was Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy this more than Blood In, Blood Out?
No.
I'm going to go 2 wipes. Only because the first 2/3 were better than it had any business being. And then the end, it felt unfinished. It was as if they were told, hey, cut it down. It can't be more than 90 minutes. Save something for the second film. And we need that Blu-ray, Gene. I'll come out for this viewing party. We need to go full detective on behind the scenes here. We could have uncovered like the Shat the Movie's gem. Van Damme, inexperience as a filmmaker, I respect it. Far better than average, far better than it deserves. I'm going to go with 2 wipes.
All right, with 2 wipes from you and 1 3/4 wipes from me, that gives us an average wipe score of 1.85 wipes for The Quest.
So, Gene, that now ties it in the 177 spot with Starship Troopers, Dogma,
Wow.
Three Amigos, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Fire in the Sky, and Desperado.
Wow.
Thank God I put a 2.
Yeah.
Or it would
Yeah,
have
this
been,
could have been dangerous.
God, if I didn't do that, Gene, this would have been up there with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Friday, Wildcats, Thelma and Louise, Excalibur. Would have been far better.
Yeah, you saved the day.
But it
All
is
right.
good, people. Listen, Gene's not underselling it. Watch this film.
Well, Steve, thanks for the question. Surprising both of us, which doesn't happen often because we are now long in the tooth at our 501st episode. Before we close out, we've got some email and voicemail. The first one comes from some guy who says, this just came across my feed. Is AI training on Big D's voice? Fucking weird. Love ya. Some guy.
Yeah, so I clicked on it. He had to have done this, right? Who else would have done this? Somebody trained AI on my voice, and they're using it for TikTok videos to sell like these giant knives. So it sounds like me being like, I need a big knife. This big knife goes in my pocket. This big knife can easily cut steak. This can cut fish. Have you watched it?
It sounds just like you.
Who did this? I need to know.
Some guy.
Do you think the guy who wrote in did it, or did he actually just stumble upon it?
I think what we need to do for the listeners, since they have to go find it, I will go on TikTok and I will remix this video so everyone can see what we're talking about here. Listen, not going to lie. I think you have an underappreciated voice. It's very distinct. Anybody who listens to this podcast would know your voice in a crowd. Roger, also, maybe part of our success was really that you and Roger have such distinct voices, because I will tell you that I've listened to some past episodes, and now that I'm removed from the situation, Ash and Carrie sometimes can sound a bit alike.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a little scary.
Voices or what they were saying?
Oh,
Just
no,
the
they're
voices?
voices. They're voices. Like if I just hear one or two words, I'm like, I don't know until I'm like, oh, okay, I know who this is based on their opinion or the way that they talk. But vocally, very strange. Anyway, thanks, some guy. Next up, we have a voicemail from Tony from Minneapolis, who is calling in about listening to 200 of our episodes.
Hello, Shack Crew. This is Tony Perella from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Want to say thank you for all the entertainment. Big D, Gene, you guys are amazing. I absolutely love listening to your podcast. I've got an hour commute, and I spend a lot of time listening to your show. Probably got 200 plus under my belt over the last couple of years. I got to say, between Gene's politics and Big D's agent outlook, I can identify with both of you. You guys do an amazing job keeping me entertained and inspiring me to watch movies that I haven't seen in ages, and also visiting some that I've never seen before. I see that you got your Halloween Spooktacular coming up soon, and I would like to commission a couple if that's possible. I don't see in the thread that you guys have ever done Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2, both made by Sam Raimi in the 80s. Very different movies, very different takes, and I would love to hear what you think. If you're interested, please give me a call back. I'd love to hear from you. My number is 2, or you can reach me at my email at Gmail. Would love to hear from you. Would love to talk about a commission or two, preferably 2, maybe even a double feature for the Halloween Spooktacular. Love you guys. Thank you for all the entertainment. I feel like I kind of know you a little bit, but would like to get to know you better more. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye.
Just need a clarity here. Did he say your aging views or your Asian views?
At first, I thought he said Asian, but it has to be aging views.
Not your views on Asians. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Because I restrained. I didn't do my Asian voice for Good Morning Vietnam, so I thought maybe there was another time where I'd done that.
Well, Tony, I'm glad, first of all, that our politics match. That doesn't happen very often for me. As for your request, Big D, I think you mentioning that October was open and then also that there was an opportunity to do a month of Spooktaculars has really kind of opened the floodgates on requests for horror movies. And I think that it's a broad enough genre, and there are enough of the movies in the 80s and 90s, particularly if we open up to the 2000s and the 70s, that we could maybe even do 2 months of Spooktacular. We've already done Army of Darkness, so why not complete the Evil Dead trilogy? There is some racy stuff depending on which version we watch, but I'm game for it.
I want you to know I'm having a senior moment. So when he said, I don't see Evil Dead, I am frantically searching through the spreadsheets of all of our past commissions, the rankings, and I'm convinced we did it. I was thinking Army of Darkness. Yes,
it's Evil Dead 3.
But it's the same guy, isn't it?
It's the Evil Dead 3. Army of Darkness is the third part of the trilogy. But we still haven't done Evil Dead. I think Evil Dead 2 is called Dead by Dawn. I think that's what it is.
That makes complete sense.
So there's still 2 of them that we haven't seen. One of them includes sexual assault by a tree.
Is it a male tree?
I don't know that trees have a sex.
Well, they have to be. You can't.
But it does penetrate. Yes.
So the tree penetrates
a lady.
Okay, so it's a male tree
without consent.
Well, I have to see it. I will.
Yeah, but it is Bruce Campbell throughout the whole trilogy. Yes, and they are worth watching.
I would 100% do it. We're into October now of this year, so you can do it.
Tony, sounds like we're on the books for it. Let's go. Next up, we have a voicemail from Matthew, who's responding to your call, Big D.
Hello, Shaq Crew. This is Matthew. You said in a podcast, I believe last week, that you were curious if you had any gay listeners. Well, I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm listening. Been listening to the show for a long time. I think 2022. I listen to a lot of podcasts that cover movies, and I listened to a really good one where they were covering Die Hard, which is one of my favorite films. So I literally just searched what other podcasts have done recaps of Die Hard, and that led me to you guys. And, parasocial relationships and all that. I just like listening to you guys talk about movies every week. And half the time I haven't even seen the movies you talk about, but that doesn't really matter to me. Big D, I'm really happy to hear you come around on Clue. You don't have to re-rank it. I'll take the win that you reconsidered it and watched it again. So I won't ask you to re-rank it, even though I like that. I'll take what I can get. Other than that, just keep on doing what you do. I couldn't even think of a movie to have you guys cover because honestly, you've done so many. I think any movie I come up with, you've probably already done. But happy to listen and look forward to hearing more podcasts. Okay, bye.
Matthew, thank you so much for calling in. As far as I know now, we have 2 gay listeners because Mike wrote in on Facebook and said he is a gay listener, but he is old, so he cannot help with our Young Bottom survey. But he does appreciate the work that we're doing. And then there was one that was called into question. Fernando said that his last relationship was with a transgendered lady, but he's disqualified because a relationship with a transgender lady still falls under straight male. So sorry, Fernando, but we at least got 2 gay listeners. Also, as far as not being able to think of a movie, I'm sure there are so many. It does feel that way sometimes where I'm like, we must have done every 80s and 90s movie ever made. And then someone will call out a movie that is huge, like a big blockbuster film that was perhaps in the top 3 or 4 of the year at the box office. I'm stunned. We haven't done it.
I think we're missing a lot of the more tender films. Some more rom-coms we're missing. I think some animated films. We have one coming up. But I personally, thank you very much for the call. I would be disappointed if we only had 2 gay listeners. I think we have to have much more because it's a safe place. I think early on we would have turned people off.
I mean, after Airborne, I don't know. We kind of.
I know. I don't say.
We saw homoeroticism around every turn.
Well, you said the hardest thing about telling your parents you like the inline skate. But I think we are a safe place, and if we had less, I'd be surprised and I'd be disappointed.
Thanks, Matthew, for calling in. And finally, we have a voicemail from Mark, who's calling in about Beastmaster.
Hey, guys. This is Mark from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. I am actually at my cabin in Berkeley Springs, sitting on a bench with my 2 dogs. They're hanging out with me with some Frisbees. I'm looking over my back 40, and listening to your podcast. In any event, I can't believe that you have not done Beastmaster. And, I would really like to hear your thoughts on this movie. I can't imagine that it would hold up, but it has a special place in my heart, and I love the movie. I have the DVD, and I watch it from time to time, and Tanya Roberts, she's great. Mark Singer, a thing of beauty. John Amos, Rip Torn, so good. Anyway, I saw this the only time I went to a drive-in with Clash of the Titans with my high school girlfriend, and it was something. I love that movie very much. It's a special place. Anyway, if you would do that movie, I would really appreciate it, and I would love to commission it. Thanks, guys. I've been listening to your podcast now for, I don't know, since the beginning, 10, 12 years. I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much. I've enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I closed my eyes there for a moment as he very descriptively described his back 40. Love it. I've not heard that in years. It just triggered in my mind. I've not heard that said in a long time since my military days. I pictured you sitting out there looking at the back 40. And again, I felt lucky that we've connected with people and they're choosing, we have that Stephen listens to us in the shower. And now we have this listener listening in West Virginia with the dogs in the backyard. I feel flattered. And Beastmaster is a choice for a film. I would love it. My sister got a ferret and then Beastmaster came out. So I remember using her ferrets in like my action play as a kid, that I imagined myself as the Beastmaster, but my ferrets didn't behave as well. And the ferrets are stinky unless you take out their stink glands.
Matthew, if you're still listening, Mark came up with Beastmaster. It's a movie we haven't done. It's huge. It's huge in all of our childhoods. It was on Channel 45. I remember on broadcast TV when I was a kid, almost every weekend, I swear to God. And you had to stay indoors in Arizona because it was so damn hot. So you sit in the air conditioning, you watch Beastmaster with commercials. So it felt like it went on all afternoon. And we've done Lady Hawk. We've done like Name of the Rose. And it's like, oh yeah, Beastmaster? No, we haven't done that one yet. Yeah. I'm glad you're commissioning it. I'm 100% down to do it. I am very excited for Beastmaster. And if you have any commission ideas, I am working on revising the way we do commissions to make them a little bit easier and take some of the pressure off of Big D. For now, you can still write us at host@chatpod.com and give us your ideas, or use the SpeakPipe feature on the website to let us know what it is that you'd like to see. And speaking of commissions, Big D, what do we have coming up next week?
Gene, next week, a group of kids heads off to summer camp expecting fun, freedom, and a break from the real world. Between nonstop pranks, awkward first crushes, and an ongoing rivalry with a camp across the lake, they learn that confidence can come from the most unexpected place, within. At the center of all of this is an unconventional counselor who seems to care more about making memories than following the rules. Next week, we're reviewing a movie about growing up, finding your people, and why summer camp always seems more magical in hindsight. Came out in 1979, and how does this happen that we go on a run of films? We do like a Western, multiple Westerns, world-ending disasters, a bunch of them. How many camp movies could we possibly do within a couple weeks of each other?
Big D, humans are designed to recognize patterns, and sometimes we recognize them when they're not there. I think that you drive a Ford Flex, and so every time I see one, I notice it, and I think of you.
That is right. No,
I had the opportunity to rent one for our upcoming trip to Michigan, but I felt like I would be treading on your territory.
No, it's probably one of the newer ones. That's not the same.
2019.
Oh, it might be. Yes. I don't know. Is it the new? I think mine was the last year of it. I have a 2014 Ford Edge. It's a little beefier. The newer ones are more like, they're smaller. It's more like a RAV4. But do what you got to do. You got the minivan. You got the little electric. Try an American SUV or mid-compact or whatever they call it.
I'm getting a Jeep Compass. I had a chance to get a GMC Sierra 1500, but the guy said it had to be back by like 4 p.m. on the day that we were leaving, and I said, no deal. I want to stay in Detroit until 7, buddy. Anyway, so our upcoming film, that'll round out the month of Steven, yes? That'll be his last one. Oh,
It is.
Steven. Yeah, I mean, coming off the quest, man, a little bit of pressure. Well, thank you, Stephen, for the month of Stephen. Thank you to all the commissioners to make this podcast possible. That concludes this week's episode of Shout at the Movies. So follow us on social media and share with a friend. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at Shout at the Movies. You can email us, host at shoutpod.com. Support the podcast by buying our merch or commissioning your own movie. Find all information by visiting our website, shoutpod.com. Also, check out our sister podcast, Shout on TV, where we review TV series such as Lovecraft Country, Westworld, True Detective, Taboo, American Gods, Game of Thrones, and Watchmen. Find all information on our website, shoutpod.com/TV, wherever we're fine podcasts can be found, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, and if you stop Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review. It helps the podcast grow. On behalf of my co-host, Big D, I'm Gene Lyons. Join us next week for the following movie.
Live from Saturday night, it's Bill Murray
Is that a bra you're wearing, or are you expecting an assassination attempt?
in Meatballs. It's the kids against the counselors, and the counselors haven't got a chance.
This is the proudest moment in North Star history!
Bill Murray, Meatballs, rated PG.
Story flashes
So
back.
did you say 1990s?
Yeah.
No, this isn't the 90s.
Yeah, it is.
The story is told. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. What?
I fucked up. Yeah, I totally forgot about the flash word. Yeah. Modern
In the
day.
1990s.
It was nobody who you had recognized from another film who had bulked up, and you thought, hey, okay, that's not whoever played like in Street Fighter, the dude with the hair that's spiked up, whatever. Fucking
Blanca?
no, not Blanca. Whatever.
His plan is, I'm going to go to Nepal. Wait, Nepal. No, I'm going to go to Tibet, and I'm going to win a golden dragon statue. And that, for anybody, before we get in on actually, I think it was Superman 2 because Lex was already in prison. They had to get him out, right? So I think it was Superman 2 because then he takes the blimp, remember, takes it to the Fortress of Solitude. And then,
Right, that's when Superman
it's gotta
loses his powers.
2.
Yes, you're correct.
So, okay. Spoiler alert.
Thank you. So, Gene, that now ties this in the 187 spot with Outland, Detroit City Rocks. No, sorry, it's 1.85. Sorry.
I think what we need to do for the listeners, since they have to go find it, I will go on TikTok and I will. Fuck, I'm so old.
So when he said, I don't see Evil Dead, I am frantically searching through the spreadsheets of all of our past commissions, the rankings, and I'm convinced we did it. I was thinking Army of the Dead.
Army of Darkness.
Oh, again, see, even worse. Army of Darkness.